Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So as we're approaching the end of 2022, I thought this would be the perfect time to go over the year and explain to you the good things that have happened, the bad things that have happened, and then go on to explain my goals for 2023. So I'm going to be as completely open and honest in this video and speak about the bad things that have happened, because I think it's important to highlight those as well. Yes, I feel like I've had a positive year, but I also feel like there has been moments in this year that haven't been so great, and I think it's good to acknowledge that as well. Not every year is going to be perfect, and you're going to have years that are going to have bad moments in them, regardless of whether it was also filled with good things as well. So we'll start off with the bad stuff first to get out of the way. I've also wrote everything in my notebook because I don't want to ramble too much. I kind of just want to speak about it, get over that part, and then move on, so I don't ramble too much on the same thing. So, like I said, we'll go through the bad things, go on to the good things, move on to the 2023 goals. So, let's start off with the bad things. The first one is my health. This year, my health has probably been the worst it's probably ever been. I've been poorly more times this year than I've probably ever been in my entire life. And I wish I was joking. Nearly every single month, if not every other week, there has been something wrong. I've had some kind of illness, or I've not felt well, or something along those lines. I've had coronavirus this year. I've had viral infection after viral infection. I've had sinus infections. I've had coughs and colds. I've had the biggest amount of illnesses and things wrong with me this year than I probably ever have, and it's been a massive eye-opener, to be completely honest. I need to take more priority in my health and look after myself a bit more, especially in terms of vitamins, because my body is low on, I think, vitamin D, which I think the majority of the UK is, because we don't get much sun in the UK, and iron. So I need to prioritise those two vitamins in particular next year, because they are, and have been for years, the two vitamins that I've suffered a deficiency with for quite a while. I'll have like medication and I'll be fine, and then I'll be low again. So I just need to take more priority in taking my vitamins, looking after myself, eating properly, exercising, that kind of thing. Anything that can improve my overall health will be fantastic, because I have two children. I cannot be sat feeling the way I felt this year and being this unwell when I have two kids to run around after and just be a mum in general and get on with life in general. There is just no time for the amount of illnesses this year that I've had, and I'm hoping next year will be a much better year in terms of illnesses, and we will not get half as many as we have got this year. Now let's talk mental health. So for me personally, this year has been a massive eye-opener in the way that I deal with things. So for me personally, I deal with my mental health by just being alone, by processing my thoughts alone, and just trying to deal with how I'm feeling on my own. I don't deal with things by telling everybody everything and being able to be open with another person. That just doesn't work for me, and that's completely fine. The best way that you can deal with your mental health, the way that you feel comfortable dealing with it. There is no bad way to deal with it. There is no wrong way to deal with it. We'll deal with things in different ways. But it is something that I've struggled with a lot this year. Sometimes it's easier to process your thoughts alone than to speak to somebody about it that has literally no idea what you're going through. I know everybody isn't going to always understand from your perspective what you're going through and how you're feeling, but also the comments that I hate that people make to other people is, oh, everyone's felt like that at some point in their life. Like, if you're going through a bad time, I'm pretty sure the last thing somebody wants to hear is that comment. And there's just some daft comments that I hear when people are going through a rough time and that people say to other people. I think one thing that doesn't help is social media, and obviously I do social media, so it's really important to me to make sure I get myself in a good mindset, because there has been a few videos on TikTok the past couple of, I want to say the last month, that have gone viral, and I've had some comments on there that aren't exactly pleasant, but I just have to sit and remember I'm doing what I love, and these kind of comments are going to happen anyway because you post on social media. Everybody thinks if you post on social media that you need to accept the fact that you're going to get hate, and that isn't always the case. I personally just deal with it in this way because this is the best way that works for me. If I see a nasty comment, it just goes completely over my head, because it's just not worth even paying attention to. But thank you for the views you're giving me. Just think sometimes when you think of writing a nasty comment to someone, just don't. click that delete button and move on. If you don't like someone's content, if you don't like someone, you don't have to sit and watch it. No one's making you watch anything you don't want to watch, and that's one thing that bugs me so much with social media. Everyone thinks they're entitled to their opinion. Of course you're entitled to your opinion, but keep that in your head or write it down. Don't put it on somebody's post, because you have no idea what someone's going through behind closed doors, and I can guarantee you, if they're having a hard time, the last thing they're going to want is your ridiculous comment on their post. Sorry if you hear the kids in the background as well, they are downstairs playing, but this is the only time I have to film this video, so I'm going to try and get it done. But yeah, they're just playing, so if you hear them in the background, that's what's going on. Yeah, I will link, like I always do, my social media in the comments, so if anybody ever does feel alone or like they need to talk to somebody or just have somebody to listen to in general, then my DMs are always open. I don't want anyone to ever feel like they're alone, because that is the worst feeling in the world. And even though when I go through a bad time, I usually am processing my thoughts alone, but that's just what works for me. It saves me the heartache of somebody not understanding what I'm going through at that time. And the last one, I think, reflects a little bit on mental health as well, which is realisation that not everybody cares about you. Regardless of whether they're family or their friends, they just don't care. They don't make any effort to acknowledge you or your family, or even just like a post or say hello or make a conversation with you. It's kind of like you aren't even there, and when it happens out of nowhere, it's more of a shock, and then you're, in my opinion anyway, and in my experience, I'm sat thinking, well, why are you being like that with me? Like, I haven't done anything. And unfortunately, we're not always going to get an answer. And that's one of the hardest things I've had to deal with this year. It's a conversation that I've had with my mum so many times about people and people in my life, and just spoke to her and tried to understand myself why it's happening and why I'm being treated like that. But unfortunately, I just don't have an answer. And it's so hard to say that, because I just don't ever understand what I did to make people treat me the way they do. But I guess maybe I'm just too good of a person, maybe, and I just let it slide too much. But in 2023, it's made me realise that I just probably need to cut a lot of people off. We don't have time for that kind of negativity in 2023. I want to be on a positive level. I want to have good people around me, good people surrounding me. And there's just a lot of people this year that have shown to me that they just don't give to, won't say that word on the internet, about me or my family, and it's hard to process. But unfortunately, I don't have an answer to why, and I don't think I'm ever going to get an answer to why, so I've just kind of got to deal with it and just kind of place my mind on something else. But that isn't to say it doesn't hurt, because it damn well hurts a lot. So let's move on from the negatives, because it has been a negative year in terms of that, but let's move on to the good stuff now, because we like to end on a positive note around here. So I'm going to start with the main thing this year that I'm so happy about, and I honestly feel like I could burst with joy about this one, which is my career progression. So I have been posting on social media since 2017. Well, I've always had social media. I feel like everybody has social media, don't they? But in terms of, let's say, influencing, that kind of thing, 2017. So I started on YouTube in 2017, and I've always done Instagram as well, and I did Instagram more of a professional level, I'd say, when I was pregnant with Cole. And then this past year, well no, actually I think it was either September or October last year, I came across Georgia Portogallo Limited. And if you've never heard of her, I'm going to link her social media in the description and her website as well, or if I can't link the website, I'll link her social media, be able to access her websites and things like that. So I'm with her for social media, and basically what she does is help you grow your social media, get brand collabs. She can give you one-on-one support, but just bear in mind that the company is growing a lot, so it may take a little bit longer for them to respond to you. But if you're wanting to grow your social media and take social media seriously, I would definitely recommend that you sign up with Georgia. I'm pretty sure it's, I think when I last checked, £30 to be a part of their influencer program, and that basically gives you an ebook and ways that you can grow your social media, tips, websites that can help you make money, that kind of thing, and just everything about social media that you may need to know. I am also with Gold Digger Coaching, which is in the process of being revamped, but they're going to be back on, I think, January 1st, so it's not going to be long till they come back. And then I'm also with Influencing with XEX, which is a new one that I've just recently joined, but I haven't had the time to look through their influencer program or anything yet, but I do definitely need to get into doing that. But doing social media and joining these groups has really helped me grow. So in October last year, I was on 500 and something followers, and as of today, I'm on 3.6k followers. And that's not as much progression as some other influencers have had. I've seen people like skyrocket with their followers since they started and things like that. But for me personally, growth has been something that I've really struggled with, and it's been really hard. And it's just not something that's came really easily for me. It's something I've had to work so hard for. I have to spend a lot of hours daily engaging and reaching out to brands and just doing so much stuff in general that you need to do to grow your social media, get where I am. It is very hard and it does take a lot of work, but that doesn't mean to say that you could do it and it would be really hard. You may get it really easily and your followers may go to really high levels within a short period of time, but I think any kind of growth is amazing, whether it's been a short period of time or a long period of time. I think people get the impression that if you do social media, it's not really a proper job, and I see a lot of people in social media influencers saying it's not a real job and just making nasty comments about social media in general. But I personally have seen the social media industry grow massively throughout the past couple of years, and it is a door that has opened so many opportunities for me. I've had so many collabs this year. I don't know exactly how many, but I want to say about 10, which is a lot for me. My first one after joining Georgia was with Estrid, and I can't remember what my last one was, but the last, I don't know. I can't say my last one because I've done quite a few. Who was it? I want to say it's with Insaxa Gifts, but I can't remember exactly because I had a few this month. But I've also been invited to restaurants. Like, how cool is that? Like, that's mind-blowing to me that a few years ago this was everything that I dreamed of, and now I'm living everything that I dreamed of. That is a real pinch me moment, and I'm so grateful for that. And I'm so grateful to every single one of you that continues to watch my videos and continues to like my Instagram posts and leave a comment and support me and like my TikToks and that kind of thing, because social media influencers would not be a thing without the support from people, whether that's a negative comment or a positive comment. The haters drive your views up. That is what I've noticed, especially on TikTok. When I'm getting hate on there and things, you're driving my views up. So you may hate me, but you're also doing me a favour. It's a door that's opened so many opportunities for me, and I'm so grateful. And without the people that support you on social media, you wouldn't be where you are. So I'm exceptionally grateful to every single person that continues to support my social media, watch my YouTube videos, anything across any of my social media platforms. I'm so grateful, and I will forever be so grateful, because without you, I wouldn't have the opportunities I've had this year. I think it's mind-blowing that I'm being sent free stuff to advertise online to other people, and I'm being invited to restaurants, and I'm able to sit and purchase a meal free of charge in return for a review. Like, that to me is mind-blowing. And if you're sat there thinking, oh, wish I could do that, you can, trust me. If little old me can do it, then I can 100% guarantee you, so can you. So honestly, my advice to you is go for it. If you really want to do social media, which is so possible for everybody, social media has opened so many opportunities for so many people, and there's so many jobs that you can have within the social media industry as well. You don't know if you don't try, and you never know. It'll go a lot better than you think, because this is something that I've always wanted to do. And I remember watching Alicia Marie. She'd get like all these PR packages, and especially like Saffron Barker and Anastasia Kingsnorth, I'd watch them all the time, and I'd be like, how do they get those? How are they able to go to these events? And now I know why. I'm not on their level, but I know people that are on a lot smaller level than they are and had very similar opportunities. So it's definitely possible. You don't need to have millions of followers, you don't need to have millions of subscribers to do social media. You can have, like I've said, 3,000. A majority of people will work with you when you've got 1,000 followers on Instagram as well. So it's all about how you sell yourself to brands and how you approach brands, but it's definitely possible. And then we'll move on to the last, is this the last positive thing? I think so. Which is I've reached my goal, kind of, for 2022 of traveling. So I've probably traveled more this year than again I ever have in my whole life. So I haven't been abroad, but in terms of life exploring so many new cities in the UK, I've definitely done that as well. I haven't been to like extravagant cities like, I don't know, like Scotland, that kind of thing. I haven't been to anywhere extravagant, but I've been to a lot of cities that I haven't been to before. I've been to London twice, which is one of my absolute favourite cities to go to. And can you believe the last time I went to London was because I got a PR visit in London? Like what? Like little old me, PR visit in London, in Camden. I'm so grateful. You have no idea. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. And then we also went earlier in the year. I think it was Aubrey's birthday. We went to Buckingham Palace, we went to M&M World. Where else did we go? I can't remember. I think that's the only place we went to. Oh yeah, we also went to Chinatown as well, and I absolutely love London. I'm actually back in London next month as well, which I'm so excited for. It's one of my favourite cities, and I can't wait to hopefully go to London several more times next year and just explore more of the UK, because I feel like I don't really appreciate the UK as much as I should. There's actually a lot of good places in the UK, and I think I actually doubted how good the UK is in parts. Now let's move on to goals for 2023. So a few of these are social media related, so I'd love to be invited to a PR event. And what I mean by that is, you know, when you see your favourite influencers go to events with, like, for example, I watch some in America and they're invited to events with like White Fox Boutique and they'll host like a party or something, things like that. I would absolutely love to go to one of those. And I definitely know that this is possible because Georgia Portogallo Limited also offers you the chance to do that as well. They recently had an opportunity, and I know a lot of my social media friends got invited to it. So I think there was one with Protein World and then there was another one, but I can't remember, or it might have been both of them a Protein World, but I can't remember. But there was definitely a Protein World event, and a lot of my social media friends went to that one, and it just looked so fun. I would love to go to an event. And it's also a really good way to also grow your social media as well and meet new people and get tips from other people, get some content. It's just a good opportunity all around to attend something like that. And then another one is to go for a PR stay or an invite. So I have mentioned that I have been invited to restaurants, but next year I'd love to be invited to maybe stay at a hotel or a cabin or an Airbnb, or even better, I'd love to get a day out, like, I don't know, like bowling or an attraction or something like that. I'd absolutely love to have that opportunity, because then it's a different PR invite than I had before. I love going to restaurants because I love food, and it's such an amazing opportunity to try new places and have the opportunity. But I also think I'm ready to have more opportunities when it comes to PR invites and things, and hopefully be invited to stay somewhere or go to a location or something like that, instead of just sticking with restaurants all the time. Even though I do love restaurants and I am very grateful for every single restaurant that I've been invited to this year, I don't think I could pick a favourite because I love every single one of them. It'd just be nice to kind of have something a little bit different. Now this one may come as something that people might think, whoa, that is like a big goal, I don't know how you're going to achieve that, but I'm in the mindset of anything is possible after this year. So the next one is being invited to a movie premiere. I see a lot of people, especially on TikTok, if you've got a big platform on TikTok, which I have not. I've only got over 800 followers on TikTok, but I've seen a lot of people be invited to movie premieres, and it's always been a massive goal of mine to go to a movie premiere, not in the sense of being a fan, but I'd love to go on the actual red carpet, meet loads of new people and that kind of thing. But I definitely think it's very achievable, and I'm hoping, and fingers crossed, maybe that can happen for us in 2023. That would just be so amazing. So fingers crossed, maybe that could work for us. It does feel like maybe it might not happen, but again, anything is possible. And the last goal I've got for 2023 is to book a holiday, or even better, go on holiday. But I think that really depends. So in terms of booking a holiday, I would love to book a holiday. Even better, I'd love to go on holiday. But I think going on holiday is a little bit different. So for example, if we was going to go to like Spain or Italy, just trying to think of other places that are a little bit more low budget. For example, if I was going to somewhere like Disneyland, or I was going to like Florida or New York, of course book the holiday, because I definitely don't think I'd be able to go there in a year. But again, like I said, anything is possible. That's one of my favourite words in this video, as you can tell. But if we was to go on holiday, probably somewhere like low budget, I'd love to go to Spain. I'd love to go to Greece. Greece is massively on my travel bucket list. I really want to prioritise travelling a lot more, which I think I have this year, to be honest. I don't just mean travelling to new places, I mean going to new restaurants, going to new theme parks, that kind of thing. Like anything travel orientated, I'm all for, and it's always something that's been a passion of mine, so it's definitely something I want to continue sharing on my social media and continuing to do throughout my life, because it is one of my favorite things to do. So I think the last one, again, really depends on where we choose to go. If we choose to go to Greece, then yeah, probably go to Greece next year. But if we're gonna book a holiday, it'll probably be like a big holiday to like Disney World or New York, or where else is like really expensive? Australia? I don't know if even Australia is even on my bucket list. I do want to go to Australia, but I don't think it's on my priority list. I think there's a few more places I want to go before I go to Australia, because I'm pretty sure that's like a 24-hour flight, or am I wrong? But that is all of the goals that I've got for 2023 so far, and I'm hoping 2023 is even better than 2022. I am so grateful, and I know I've said that so much in this video, but I keep moving because I'm next to the radiator. I feel like this was a very positive year for me. Again, like I said, there has been bad things that have happened this year that haven't been on the positive side, but I always feel like there is a positive thing to balance that out. So I hope you've all had a lovely Christmas, and I hope 2023 is even better than 2022. Even if you didn't have a great year this year, I'm hoping that 2023 will be even better for you, and it'll bring you so many more blessings and just be a brilliant year, hopefully, for all of us. So if you guys did enjoy this video, please smash a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'd be extremely grateful, and if you haven't already, click that notification bell, notify every single time I load a video, and I'll see you in the next video.